Welcome back to the brand new Wisconsin dairy farm, everybody. It is also the 4th of July today, so for our American audience celebrating Independence Day, do not lose your finger while using fireworks.
Put it in reverse, Terry! Put it in reverse! Oh, Lord!
It is the month of May. We've gotten ahead of ourselves a little bit, and this is what I mean by the farm's not always exactly going to look like they did the first episode. I had a really big craze, and I just happened to paint the entire farm blue while also running a stop sign. We're going to need to finish up planting some corn. That way we could get the cattle feed on line 1 to get into our harvester bin and start converting into feed. The other thing we're going to try to do today is get my oat crop. I thought it was wheat, but apparently there is a new crop of oats. Harvest it out. We're going to take that money to then buy a seed drill so we can head over to another plot of land and get some grass planted. We're just going to pick up some seed from the old mill. So we'll see you guys back at the field. I hope everybody is having a fantastic day. I was correct. Those are indeed railroad tracks. Whether there will be a running train on it, I have no idea. Just so we can be clear, I have like no real power over anything that happens in this game. So if you guys think I have a whole bunch of input and that I know everything, I really don't. But what I do know is that this map is very, very, very aesthetically pleasing, and I really have had no complaints so far. Could the farm maybe have not been bright blue? Possibly, but I heard that that was Grant's choice. We're going to start off with our first plot, the two places that are right around my house. We'll jump to the PDA. These two down yonder are both going to be planted in as corn. Now, I also have this little plot up the road. I kind of want to do this one as grass, but I'm also contemplating doing some stuff over at my starting farm. Maybe the smaller one, like these two smaller fields be that, and then this one also be corn. But I have to be mindful because I have to remember I got to drive all that stuff up there. So how far do we really want to take all of that chopping equipment? The closer we can keep it, the better. The hay stuff, I could transport that just fine. Let's get our navy set. We are set to corn. Bingo. A 12-row Cyclone backed by a 8950 boxcar. That is a setup for the ages. Well, you guys let me know down below, what is your favorite tractor in all of American farming? This boxcar is really starting to grow on me, and I think I know why. Look at the back tires. I am a fan of a thick sidewall and a smaller rim. If this tractor could have front duals and a set of front fenders, it would probably be my favorite tractor in the entire game. Once we harvest the oat crop, I'm going to take my vertical till Lando behind the Versatile, and we're going to go and rip that up before we pull the seed drill on top. That way we're able to get the best possible results for that grass when it starts coming up. Something I did take note of when I was down at the co-op last is that the co-op itself now also has a shed. So unlike the Iowa co-op where everything sits outside, we can at least store all the equipment that we can use out here back in the shed. We might swing by on our way up to the other farm. And if there are farms that are like completely different from what we're showing on the first episode, I kind of apologize. I was told not even like 45 minutes after I recorded that there was a massive update that did all of this stuff. I did the same thing with the Forage Harvester DLC when that came out. It's like I record the whole episode, and not even 10 minutes after I get done recording, they're like, hey, an update came out, fix that. I'm like, that'd have been nice. And speaking of good, the cows are at least not hungry, but we do need to get that feed figured out. It costs $4,800 a load to get the feed hauled in, and I think that's really all I'm going to be able to do, because there's no food. Whatever the oat crop gets us is really the only money we'll have to play with unless we take out a loan. I don't think I've ever seen that many vents inside of a tractor. Look at this. There's like, what? 9 vents in the roof? How many do you... Oh, that's a radio. There are 8 vents in the roof of this tractor. That is absurd. Okay, I'm getting bored of this. Let's head up to the other farm and check out what the oat crop looks like. Now, why I have this farm full of oats is beyond me, but I don't likely see myself having to plant any oats anytime soon. Pretty certain the fastest way to get to this place is cutting up this road and then going in front of the co-op, which would be this road? Yes, because pavement ends. There's one thing that's kind of confusing about this map is how many more hills there are. I know Wisconsin is very hilly, but the level of hilliness compared to the Iowa map is insane. There's the shed I was talking about. And then we just ride this gravel road all the way up and to the left. We kind of blew by this place last time, but there's my buddy who's going to help us out. And then here's my place. Well, at least one of the old places. Oh yeah, that stuff's ready to go. Man, I hope this stuff does a pretty good yield, because I have done nothing to it to make it do better. But I need money. Now, he's got a slightly newer tractor than I do. This is the MX. But two 600 bushel Brent wagons should be plenty enough to be able to carry the oats out of this plot. Heck, I don't even really think we need the back one. We'll do the split as 70 to 30. I will get to keep 70% of our profit on this. And being that it's oats, it technically would drop a straw swath. So we'll just kind of like split what would be the straw bales. There's no straw in American farming, but that's kind of where the extra of what he gets to keep would come in. I got a feeling that Daryl might be done on the planting of corn, so I'll have to get him swapped over to the south plot. We'll get him shifted over to the other piece of ground. He's going to be jumping around the map quite a bit today. I guess disregard that statement. Apparently he was starting the rows, not ready to move to the new field. 2 laps down and I believe 2 rows in. That puts the combine at about 50-ish%. He does run a smaller header, but I also got to remember, I'm pretty sure that has a lot bigger hopper than the base combine. So I think we'd get at least 1 full load out of this. I just don't see why we couldn't. When would be the high price for oats? Man, oats aren't worth very much. I thought they'd be worth more than that. This might not be good. Hey, look on the bright side. At least it's not September, right? Yeah, the only reason I know I would run oats is if I was doing horses, but there's no horses in this game. So what is it, cattle feed? Okay, so oats technically are just sold. That's not bad. I think it's got the same characteristics as wheat in this game. It exists for the sole purpose of diversity. Now Daryl's done with his plot, so we'll get him shifted over, and then hopefully, or depending on who gets done first, we will send them to go and look at getting a seed drill. Because how much does that thing cost again? 14,000. Ouch. I don't even know if I got that amount of money. I might have to check around, see if someone's got one. I'd like to use the land all, but this is not Arthur's turf anymore. We are far away from Arthur. This is actually Mark's place. Drop that. Back on the way. Oh, so you're going to tell me that the boxcar has 8 vents in the roof and this one has none? What the heck? Let's see if we can snag a couple more bushels out of Mark. I am surprised I was able to guesstimate that. But he's already empty, and I think that puts me right at about a third. Maybe we'll check back in with Daryl on the planting front. And by that time, he might be able to fill us back up again. I don't know. Mark, I'm going to leave this down on the south side of the field. If you end up getting full, I'm going to run and go check on the planter. I didn't even look which place sold oats for the highest price. Usually the mill did a better job than the co-op did, which has me curious. So I don't have a lot of input in said thing, but okay, so there apparently is a co-op. Because keep in mind, I used to use the elevator on the Iowa map and call it a co-op. Grant does listen. I just want to know where on earth this thing is at. Elevators. Okay, so it's classified as an elevator, but where is the North co-op? Is it even on here? No. So where's the co-op? Ooh, another Easter egg I gotta check on is if there's apartments in town, if they still retain the Bucks apartments. Buck sailing into a tree also works, but that's not what we're looking for. Crops looking good. Let's get that south side planted. If I knew that creek bed wasn't super deep, I'd just drive right through the crossing. But I remember I tried taking the Versatile through that a couple days ago, and I about broke the front axle. It just drops straight down. Oh, speaking of Versatiles, that must be that guy, the other big time? Holy cow, now that is a drop-off. Look at the flex on that. That is crazy. I think that's actually a ripper. What the heck's he doing with that? Seems a little late in the season to be doing tillage. I should probably head back over to Mark's. I don't know if he needs my help or not. I slightly low-key want to go exploring because I just don't know where all this stuff is at. Oh! Okay. So when I mentioned the other day that I saw a bin site on the north side of the map, that's not a bin site, that's the North Co-op. Okay, well now I kind of got to go back down there and look at that. So the place we were at was the elevator. I'm still gonna call it a co-op, that's what it looks like to me. Let's go take a little look-sees. Should be just behind this hillside. Yes. That's a co-op? Where's the office at? Ah, okay. So that's just the old building. Gotcha. Seriously though, look at these hills. It is just up and down and up and down. This reminds me of Upper Mississippi River Valley from 22. Oh, Mark's still ticking along. Is he turning around? Because it looks like he's going to have the... Yes, the pipe's going to be on this side. Go, 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 go. See if we can catch him. What the heck's he been doing? I thought... What? I thought he was significantly further than that. Well, that looked deceiving. I have been cheated and lied to. Maybe we can help Mark pitch in to get a bigger header. You guys saw that too, right? From the road, it looked like he was way, way further down the hillside. Little under 2/3 with that. Definitely making progress. I think we'll get at least a trailer and maybe a quarter. The Upper Mississippi River Valley and the Ohio Valley tend to get a lot more rain compared to the plains. And with this year's weather pattern, that has certainly been true. It has literally not stopped raining like every other day for the last like 2-3 weeks. It is nuts. And I'm from Nebraska. I think we'll get some drone shots of Daryl going back and forth as well as Mark's. That way you guys can have some fun. But if you need me, I'll just be chilling in the MX.
I'm feeling like a small fish in a big pond. I think I'll go back where I came from, where everybody knows my name. My friends are still the same. I guess the slow life hit me just right, like a bonfire on a cold night. Hell, and you can keep your 9 to 5. Happy with the simple life.
I love me a fun time lapse. Mark is just clicking away. I am getting a little concerned because each pass is going to start drastically getting shorter as he keeps ending each run. Daryl apparently let me know that he is planting rows east to west. How many of you guys talk in direction? Like, I'm not talking about go left at the stop sign. I'm saying go north at the stop sign. When I worked out at Game and Parks, that's the only way those guys would talk, and it drove me nuts, but it really did help me understand direction a little bit better, because you can't really mess up north, south, east, and west like you can left and right. No, I'm not saying you need to get L and R tattooed on your hands, but stage right to my right are completely inverted. I think we'll meet you guys over at the Northern Co-op so we can get our best deal for the oats. We'll see what kind of money we're working with and if we're going to be able to afford a drill. Would it be accurate to say that my palms are like clammy right now? With Mark's portion taken out, that puts us right at about half a tank. And if this is a 600 bushel wagon, that's 300 bushels worth of oats. That's $6 a bushel. I don't see 14 coming out of that anytime soon. This could hurt. Yeah, I bet this is only about $1,500. We're not gonna get to plant grass today. Unless I want to take out a loan. I guess it gives us a reason to go and look for the apartments if we do it that way. Well, here goes nothing. Let's see what the damage is. Okay. It's not as bad, but it's still only $2,000. Little under $4,000 short from a seed drill. That's a shame. Well, I guess we can at least send the Versatile over to start getting started on the tillage application. And then I will finish out with Daryl to see where we can get him. But I don't see us being able to plant anytime soon today unless I can get myself a couple different contracts and just work some ground for some money. I don't know. We'll figure it out. This thing's usually kind of cold-blooded, so while it kind of tries to warm itself up, we'll take care of the planter. Which, to my knowledge, I think, yes, he just finished up. How convenient. Just gonna transport you to the next location. And it's on to tillage. Do you believe this is my other patch? I'm gonna have to double check quick. Yes. Let's get him started. And back to the Versatile. Yeah, the speed this thing can rip along is honestly amazing. That's why I love this thing so much. But I think we'll probably leave it at that. With the financial decisions needing to be thought on, we might start planting grass next episode, not certain. But thank you guys all so much for tuning in. Have a safe and happy 4th of July. Make sure not to party too hard. But if you'd like to check out the new Wisconsin playlist, then make sure to check that out in the top right-hand corner of your screen. Make sure to keep it light, keep it loose, keep it fresh. Most importantly, keep it fun. This is Little Squad Farms out. Peace.